Hello students, hope you all are good. So in our today's module, we'll be discussing about the tissue system, right? Earlier we had discussed about the tissue based on the types of cell present. Now students, on the basis of the structures and location, the tissues, they basically of three types of tissue systems they are present. The first one we have is the epidermal tissue system. Next one we have is the ground or the fundamental tissue system. And the third one we have is the vascular or conducting tissue system. So these are the types of tissue system that we're going to discuss, students. The first one you all can see here is the epidermal tissue system, right? So just have a look here. Talking about the epidermal tissue system, students, the epidermal tissue system, it forms the outermost covering. Why outermost covering? A very simple thing, because the epidermal layer is the outermost layer, right? It is the outermost layer. And students, it consists of epidermal cells, right? Stomata and the epidermal appendages. Like for example, we have trichomes, we have hairs. Now students, this epidermis, this is the outermost layer of the primary plant body, fine, and it is made up of elongated, compactly cells, fine, which is basically arranged in the continuous layer. Okay, and epidermis is usually single layered. It is not double layer. It is single layered, students. And the epidermal cells, they are parenchymatous. So what do we mean by the parenchymatous? They have a large vacuole, fine. They have the small amount of cytoplasm lining in them, plus they are the storing type of cell, right? Students, the outside of the epidermis, that is often it covered with a thick waxy coating. Now what is this waxy coating? This basically prevents the water loss. Okay, it prevents the water loss from the plants, and this is what we called as cuticle, right students? I hope this thing is clear. It's very very important. So cuticle, basically it is absent in roots. Remember this thing, very important. Next students, stomata. Coming on to the stomata, which is very important, and you all aware about this term. I think, what is exactly do we mean by the stomata? These are the structures that is present in the epidermis of leaves, right? And stomata regulates the process of transpiration, students, plus gases exchange, right? And each stoma is composed of two bean shaped cells. So you can see here, these are the bean shaped cells, and they are known as guard cells, right? So they are known as guard cells. Now in grasses, the guard cell, they are dumbbell shaped. Dumbbell, you all know, na, that dumbbell kind of shape. For example, this one. These are the dumbbell kind of shape, fine. Now students, the outer walls of guard cells, that is away from the stomatal pore, they are thin. And talking about the inner wall, that is towards the stomatal pore, they are highly thickened, right? Students, the guard cell possesses chloroplast. You all know what is the function of chloroplast. It is very important. Has the pigment chlorophyll, right? And regulate the opening and closing of stomata. So you can see here, this one is the stomata, students, fine. So the opening and closing of this stomata is done by the this guard cell only, right? Sometimes students, few epidermal cells in the vicinity of the guard cells, they become specialized in their shape and size, and they are known as subsidiary cells. So you can see here, these are the subsidiary cells, right? These are the subsidiary cells, that is just in the vicinity of the guard cells. Now the stomatal aperture, student, guard cells and the surrounding subsidiary cells, together they are termed as stomatal apparatus. Fine. So this is what the stomatal apparatus is. These are the epidermal cells. These are the subsidiary cells. Fine. You can see here in this guard cell, we have these tiny dot-like structure. These are the chloroplast, right? Now students, the cells of epidermis, they basically bears number of hairs. Like we have the root hairs, which are unicellular elongation of the epidermal cells. And what is the function of these root hairs? They absorb the water, right, and mineral from the soil. And on the stem, the epidermal hairs, they are called trichomes. Fine. So if these epidermal hairs, they are present on the stem, At that time they are known as trichomes. Remember this thing, trichomes. Fine, very important term. Now students, the trichomes in the shoot system, fine, they are usually multicellular. They are usually multicellular. Shoot system, you know, na students, the aerial one, the aerial part along with the branches, with the stem, that is the shoot system. Fine, and talking about this one, that is the root system. Fine. So the trichomes, they basically help in preventing water loss due to transpiration. So transpiration, you all know, fine, when water is coming out from the plant, from the leaves in the form of water droplets, so that shouldn't be there. So in order to prevent water loss, these trichomes, they basically play a very major role in that. So I hope this system is clear to each one of you students. Now coming on to the next system that we are having is the ground tissue system. Students, all tissues except epidermis and vascular bundles. So except epidermis, remember this thing, except epidermis, right, and the vascular bundles. Except these two, what actually we have is the ground system. Fine, the ground tissue system. So what does this consist now? It consists of a simple tissues like we have parenchyma, we have collenchyma, we have sclerenchyma. And parenchymatous cells, they are usually present in the cortex. Remember this thing. Cortex is the region. Then we have pericycle, then we have pith, fine, and the medullary rays. We'll be studying about all these things in detail, students. Now in the primary stem and roots, in leaves, fine, these were in the stems and roots. Then what about leaves? In leaves, the ground tissue system, they consist of thin walled chloroplast containing cells and they are called mesophils. I hope this thing is clear, students. I am repeating this again. The cortex, pericycle, pith and medullary rays, they are in the stem and the roots. Fine. But in leaves, there is the ground tissue that consists of thin walled chloroplast, that is the mesophil. It is known as mesophil. Right? Now students, coming on to the vascular tissue system. Fine, listen to me very carefully now. The vascular tissue system, which is very important, which consists of the complex tissue. Now can you tell me what are the complex tissue? Of course you can, because we have already discussed this thing in our previous modules. We have the phloem and the xylem. These are the two vascular tissues. Fine. The xylem and the phloem together, they constitute vascular bundle, students. So we term them a vascular bundles, right? In dicotyledon stem, so we have to we'll be studying about all these things, students. We'll be studying about the dicot stem, fine, the root and the leaves, plus the monocot stem, root and leaf. So we'll be studying about their structure. So in dicotyledon stem, cambium is present between phloem and xylem. Fine, between phloem and xylem, there is a thin layer of cells, that is the cambium. Now such vascular bundles, because of the presence of cambium, possess the ability to form secondary xylem and phloem tissue, and hence they are called open vascular bundles. So here we should know what is the meaning of open vascular bundles and what is the meaning of closed vascular bundles. So students, open vascular bundles are the vascular bundles, fine, where the cambium is present between xylem and phloem, right? Where the cambium is present between the xylem and phloem. Like in this structure, you can see this is a phloem and this is a xylem. And in between, you can see the pink color, this is the cambium, right? So if it is present, it is the open vascular bundle and that is in the dicot, students. Fine, remember this thing, that is in dicot. But another one we are having, that is in the monocotyledons, the vascular bundles have no cambium that is present in them. Fine, and hence since they do not form the secondary tissues, right? So they are closed type. They are closed type. Remember this thing. So this is what we want to know. So when xylem and phloem within a vascular bundle, they are arranged alternate manner on different radii. The arrangement is called radial. Fine, such as in roots. And in conjoint type of vascular bundles, the xylem and phloem, they are situated in the same radius of vascular bundles. Such vascular bundles, they are common in stem and leaves. So we'll be discussing this thing, students. Fine. These types of conjoint and this conjoint closed and conjoint open plus radial. Like you can see here, talking about the radial for students. So when xylem and phloem within a vascular bundle, they are arranged in an alternate manner. Like you can see here in the first diagram, this is xylem, right? This is phloem. Then this is xylem, this is phloem. This is xylem, this is phloem, this is xylem, this is phloem. This is what the radial is. Now talking about the conjoint. So in this type of vascular bundle, the xylem and phloem, they are situated in the same radius. Like for example, this one. This is the conjoint closed and this is the conjoint open type. Fine, in which we have the cambium ring. But in closed type, we do not have any cambium in it. Fine, it do not have any cambium. So the conjoint vascular bundles usually have the phloem located only in the outer side of xylem. Right? The outer side of xylem, we have the phloem. This one is the phloem. So I hope this topic is clear to each one of you students. We have discussed about the type of tissue systems. Fine. The vascular tissue system, the ground tissue system, and the epidermal tissue system. So this is what all about today's module, students. Thank you.